I'm Lexi, and you're listening to LUCK It With Lexi. My podcast focuses on people who are working extremely hard and doing extraordinary things. Today, my guest is Haley Stenz. Haley is from Alpena, Michigan, and as only a sophomore, she is already a two-time individual district champion, two-time regional champion, and a two-time all-state wrestler, placing fourth at states as a freshman and second as this year as a sophomore. She's also earned academic all-state honors and was voted most outstanding wrestler for the 2024 to 2025 season. But her success does not stop there. She's a three-time Team Michigan member, competing at national duels across the country, placing at major regional tournaments, and wrestling in 12 different states. Despite battling an injury for over the past 2 years, she continues to compete at an elite level. And on top of all of that, she's also a swimmer and was an all-state pole vaulter in middle school who broke a school record. So thank you for being here. So we're going to talk, have you lived in Alpena your whole life?
Yeah.
So when did you first get into wrestling and what made you stick with it?
So my dad's my wrestling coach, so I've basically been wrestling and been around wrestling since I was in diapers. And my dad taught me how to get out of cradles when I was a little kid and stuff. So, and when I was little, I didn't love wrestling to the amount that I do today. It was just one of those things that my dad put me in wrestling at a young age because he at least wanted me to learn how to defend myself. Like, as a young girl, I needed to know how to defend myself. And then after that, I kept working at it, and I loved wrestling, and I loved teaching people how to wrestle when I was in elementary school. And I didn't wrestle very many tournaments and stuff, and it wasn't my favorite sport. And then as it kind of went on, I was like, hey, I could be good at this. Girls wrestling is becoming a thing. I could be good at this. And then it became my favorite sport, and I just kept working at it and just kept getting better, and it just kind of evolved from there. But yeah, I've just kind of been around it my whole life. So
you've competed in many different sports, from wrestling, swimming, track, and we just found out soccer. We were talking about that. What drew you most to wrestling?
So with my family, I come from a big family of wrestlers, and it's one of those things that it's just all the kids always get put in wrestling. And what really drew me to wrestling is the growth of women's wrestling. And my Aunt Jamie was a big advocate for women's wrestling. So finding that community and just kind of transitioning, I wrestled boys through elementary school and some in middle school, but kind of moving to wrestling girls and getting better at wrestling girls and being hey, I can wrestle just girls and I can be good at that. And the girls wrestling is its own thing that kind of drew me towards it. And also I started to kind of stray away from team sports, because when you're the only athlete on your team who's willing to work that hard, it becomes kind of difficult to be in that team aspect. And it's teamwork, but it's not teamwork when it's only one person doing the work. So I kind of fell in love with wrestling because it was something that I did on my own, and it was something that it was up to me. It's up to me to go and do the hard work to get better when I don't want to do it. It's everything is in my hands in wrestling, and everything's up to me. So I really like that aspect about the sport.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how does living in such a small rural town make it harder for you to find resources to succeed like you do?
So I am blessed in wrestling that I have my dad as my coach, and I have a lot of connections. And so I have a coach in my house. But for my Team Michigan coaches, and I went other places, and my coach Mario, we have our training facility. His training facility is all the way down in Highland, which is 4 hours from here. And Coach Ben, he has his club 3.5 hours from here in the Lansing area. So it's we travel downstate, which is where a lot of my Team Michigan friends and a lot of the people that helped make me better, they're all downstate. And traveling down is hard. And part of what me and my dad are trying to do up north is we're trying to create opportunities for girls wrestling up north and stuff. And my Aunt Jamie's in Traverse City, so we have the Lansing area, and then we have Highland in that area, and then we have Traverse City, and now we have Alpena in this area. We have, at my house, we have our own wrestling club, Stenz Wrestling Club, that me and our family run and stuff. And so that's a training place that girls can go to. and stuff, but it's like just trying to create opportunities up here in wrestling and just in sports in general. It's hard because nobody's up here.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just trying to create opportunities for athletes to get better up here. And it's definitely a learning experience, and it's definitely not fun having to drive multiple hours instead of like driving 15 minutes down the road like some of my friends get to do downstate.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to drive 3 hours on average for sporting events just for high school stuff.
Yeah, like my friends from Rochester will be like, oh yeah, like our farthest is like an hour, and I'm like, my farthest is probably like 5 hours, like up in the UP if we're going up there.
I was talking to one of my friends, my friend Emma, who she wrestles for Lakeshore, and she lives like way downstate, and she's like, I had to drive 15 minutes for my conference meet. I had to drive to Cadillac, which is like 3.5 hours from Alpena.
No complaining.
And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, for conference. It's supposed to be schools close to us.
That's just what we get. But I think it almost makes it more like refreshing when you meet people like that. You get to be like, well, I get to travel all around and meet all these people because I'm from up here. And
yeah, like at least I have the opportunity, like I'm not just in one room in my little like some of those girls, they travel 30 minutes and they're just in their little 30-minute like bubble of, like where they train. I'm like, I go all over Michigan. I go to other states. I go to camps in Iowa and Missouri and Indiana and stuff like that, trying to get better.
Yeah.
And getting out of Michigan and getting those opportunities and getting out of up north and finding people who can help me become a better athlete and stuff. And they also, it's nice because those same coaches from downstate, they bring knowledge to us up north, and like my dad can teach and relay those same things to to the wrestlers up here.
Yeah.
So like he can take the things that he learns from coaches all over the country and all over the state of Michigan and be able to teach it to our girls and to other coaches so that they can teach their girls, and then everyone gets better at wrestling. So it's just really awesome to have that kind of community.
It really is. So now we're going to talk about states. So you've gone from 4th place at states to 2nd this year. What changed for you between those seasons to make that jump?
So for my freshman year, it was kind of one of those things where I didn't know what was going to happen going into just high school wrestling in general. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I did a little bit because I had some friends who were in high school, but I didn't know how I was going to do, where I placed. And like I started the year ranked like top 10, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. And then like I won my first tournament, and like I won like a ton of other tournaments and stuff. And like I'm like, okay, like I'm getting more comfortable. I'm one of the top girls. This is pretty cool. And I set my goal for at the beginning of the year. I wanted to be a state qualifier. And by the time I got to districts, I'm like, state qualifier isn't enough for me. I want to go there and I want to place. So like I win districts, I win regionals. I'm like, this is cool. Because like I don't know what to expect. I'm a freshman. Like I've never done this before. I don't know what to expect. I don't know anything about the competition, like stuff like that. I was still just trying to figure stuff out as I went. And then I go to states, I get 4th, and I'm like, that's really cool. Like all I wanted to do was place. And like I was getting ready for states, I'm like, I see the bracket. I'm like, I can place pretty high.
Yeah.
Like I had only had 2 losses going into the season or to the postseason. So like going into states, I had 2 losses, and both of those girls were in my bracket. And I actually wrestled both of them at the state tournament that year. So one of the girls I lost to was one of my really close friends, Cece. And I made a mistake when I wrestled her, and I knew I was a better wrestler than her, and I lost the match. It was one of those things where it was just kind of a blur. And so at states, I had to wrestle her in the first round, and that was actually a big mental battle that I had to overcome, because it's like, it's my friend. She's really like, I know she's a good wrestler, and like I lost to her, and it's like it took a lot of mental preparation to be able to overcome that and be able to go, hey, like this is my match. I'm confident. This is my stage. Like I'm going to win this match, and I'm going to move on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it felt really nice. I ended up winning my first round match at states. And like it was just an amazing experience as a freshman. Going into high school, being able to place at the state tournament was a great experience for me, and I didn't have any expectations for myself. And then this year, like going in, I knew what to expect. And like this year, I started the season ranked second, and like girls were moving around, and the reason I was ranked second is because I was ranked behind my world team member, Team Michigan teammate, who like wrestled in Europe and stuff like that, and is a national champ, and she's freaking crazy. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm beating her. Like, you gotta be optimistic, and you gotta believe in yourself and be confident. But it's one of those things where it's like she's just that good.
Yeah.
Like I'm here, she's here, kind of thing. So it's like, but so a couple girls moved down, and I ended up in like third, like ranked, and then I only lost one match before postseason. And so then I was like fourth, and I was behind because I was behind two of my Team Michigan teammates who were both seniors, and then the Yale girl who I lost to like in the middle of the season. Or no, I lost her at like the end of the season. But so those were the girls in front of me. But then my two Team Michigan teammates at districts went up a weight class, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
I have an opportunity to win the entire thing. And that like hit me in the face like a semi truck. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And like, so, luckily, like my parents are amazing. They got me a sports psychologist.
Oh, yeah.
So she's basically a therapist who specializes with athletes and high level athletes. So she's amazing. And I love talking to her, and she's just so helpful, and she's helped me so much at competing at a high level. And so I was talking to her, and she helped me so much, and she like I just spilled it all out, and I just vented to her, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna need you to grab a notebook, and we're gonna start writing stuff down. So like leading up to states, the mental, like I had goals and stuff that I wanted to achieve, and I just kind of like I'd done all the preparation, and I just was calming my nerves, and I was just mentally preparing all like those 2 weeks going to states. And I was nursing a shoulder injury still, so I was just trying to do everything I could to be the best I could for states. And it helped me grow a lot as an athlete with mental preparation and just being a high level athlete, because I learned a lot about myself this season, and going through the postseason and having these super high goals, and just like I had sticky notes all over my room. I had my journal. I wrote pages and pages and pages and stuff just preparing for the state tournament. And like I took those sticky notes off of my wall, put them in my journal, and when I got to the hotel room, I literally put them on the mirror in my hotel room. So it's like I'm trying to do like everything I could, and like I did all the preparation. I had all of the potential and all of the resources and everything I needed. And like it was just so surreal to be able to just like wrestle, and like I wrestled my heart out in like my semifinals match. Like I wrestled every second of that match, and it just felt so good to wrestle that match. And like I won it, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Like everything was just like, oh, because like I'm in the finals, like this is what I wanted and stuff. And it's like I end up losing in the state finals, whatever. Like that girl's good. She caught me. I got pinned, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I got to the finals. I still wrestled. I did everything I could on the mat and off the mat. So, and yes, I really, really wanted to win this year, but I think I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I've gotten this year and all of the things that I've been able to accomplish. It's just, I'm proud of myself. And that's something that I don't really say a lot. And I always strive to be the best. And I always I'm never satisfied. And I'm not satisfied, but at least I can appreciate what I've done so far. So I'm very grateful for all the opportunities I got this high school season. I'm really, really excited for the next couple of years. So it was just weird, the difference between like last year. I didn't have any expectations for myself. I was the freshman who I had like not a lot of expectations for myself, and not a lot of people had expectations for me. And like this year, I didn't really struggle with feeling everybody else's pressure on me. I just had to set goals, and I just kept working hard, and I just did what I could. And I mean, I did the best that I could.
Yeah.
And that's just what, like, looking back, I can appreciate that just both years that I went to states, I just wrestled my hardest. And but I am like, that's one of those things I just keep thinking about. Man, I've grown so much this year. And like, I've improved so much at wrestling, but I've also improved at everything off the mat. Like, my mentality and being able to mentally prepare, and just my knowledge of wrestling and just handling like certain situations, because wrestling's hard, and it's like it's a really hard sport, and the mental side of it is so important. So I really had to experience some of that this year, and just having to conquer a lot more mental challenges than physical. And like, my knees have been getting a lot better. Like, they were pretty bad last year, but this year I was able to focus more on other stuff because they're getting better, which I'm very grateful for. So
you're also a 2-time district champion and regional champion. What does it take to perform that sort of consistency for you?
So yeah, my freshman year, I wasn't expecting, like, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go out. Like, I get into districts, I'm like, oh, I'm better than all these girls, and then I just win. And then I go to regionals, I'm like, oh, I'm better than these girls too. So it's just one of those things that being a district and regional champ, like, both years, is just one of those things that it's just stepping stones to where I'm going. Like, and at districts and regionals, especially how I saw it this year, it's like, I won it last year. I won districts and regionals, but like, what it comes down to is top 4 move on. So if I lose, if I do something stupid and lose, it's okay. As long as I'm top 4, I go to states.
Yeah.
That's all I have to do, because I know that. And going into states, I'm like, I know I am the best wrestler out of in that bracket. So it doesn't matter where I'm at. If I want to win, I have to beat everyone anyways. That's what my dad always says. He's like, if you want to win, you have to beat anyone anyways. Like, and like, with, if you're seeded first or second, if you're favored to win or place high, you get an easier route there. And it's always one of those things that, like, it doesn't matter. You have to be better than everyone anyways to win. So there's no like avoiding people. So yeah, that's just kind of what I live by.
So how many girls are actually go to states for like?
So for guys and girls, every week, well, it's different for guys because girls is 1 division. So for guys in wrestling, we have 4 divisions. Our school is Division 2. So they have, for every weight class, there's 4 brackets, like, technically. So there's 4 champs at every weight class for guys, because it matters what division you are. But girls, it's literally like 1 division. So you, like, it doesn't matter what division another girl's school is. Like, all the girls just wrestle everyone. So right now it's 1 division. In the next following years, they've been talking about splitting it into 2, and even splitting like college into 2, because college women's wrestling is also 1 division. So they're talking about splitting it up, but I don't think that's going to happen for a couple of years, because we're just not there yet. But it's 1 division right now. So every weight class, which is 14 weight classes in high school, guys and girls, the girls' weight classes are a little bit differently spread out than the guys, because girls were built different, and there's not going to be a ton of 285-pound girls. Like, there's a lot of guys, but like, girls, the biggest weight class is 235, and we have a lot less weight gaps at the lower weights, because usually girls, like, there's a lot more girls in those lower weight classes. So, but each have 14. So for girls, there's 14 state champs.
Okay.
So there's girls is just all one division. So it doesn't matter if I'm from a D1 school and you're from a D4 school. If we're in the same weight class, then we could wrestle each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you were voted most outstanding wrestler for the season. What did that recognition mean to you?
So yeah, it was nice, like at the, because they do like all the awards at the banquet and stuff, and it's just one of those things where like I was the only like person on our team who went to states, placed at states. Like it was one of those things where it's like, if it's not Haley, then what are we doing? So yeah. And it's funny because me and Ethan last year after the banquet were like, we're gonna see who has the most takedowns next year, because we do the little awards where like who gets the most takedowns and who gets the most points on top and who gets the most escapes in the season. And like me and Ethan are like battling for those awards right now. So it's funny. Yeah. I think I'm still going to get the most takedowns award. Yeah. He might get the most like points on top though, because of just his wrestling style. But I think I'll still get the most takedowns one.
Yeah, watch out. She's coming for you. Yeah. So you also earned academic all-state honors. So how is it to balance school and such a demanding sport?
So yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like a lifestyle. Like to be just a good ass student athlete in general, you have to be really good at time management. And like that's something that all student athletes will tell you, time management. Like they'll drill that into your brain. It's really just about like prioritizing things. Like instead of hanging out with your friends and having sleepovers all the time, like you go to practice, you do your stuff, you do your homework, you go to sleep. And that's just how it is. Yeah. And I don't mind it. I love it. Like I love like having that kind of productivity, if that makes sense. Like being able to wrestle, lift, go home, eat, shower, go to sleep. And like go, or like wrestle, lift, do my homework, shower, go to sleep. Like it's just one of those things where it's just like bam, 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 bam. Yeah. Like, and it pays off. And I think that being a student athlete and being good at both is so amazing and deserves a lot of recognition. And kudos to any student athletes like for like honor society and doing all the stuff. Like we're an athletic council, like we're representing our school and our athletes. Like that's amazing, and that should be celebrated and recognized and stuff. Like doing stuff like this, we're recognizing athletes and stuff. And just for academic all-state like honors, freshmen aren't able to get it because like for wrestling, because it's a winter sport, like freshmen would only be in school for one semester at that point. But because you're sophomores, then you have like a ton of grades that you can go off of. So I got it this year because the certificate is basically recognizing good athletes who are also good students. So it's like you have to have like a certain grade point average to get the all-state award while being a state qualifier. So they give it to you like at states, like when you go to weigh in. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So,
do you know what the GPA average is?
Like a 3.7.
That's awesome. Yeah, to be able to keep that. Because like, I mean, you were talking like you miss a ton of school, and to be able to keep a 3.7 GPA is crazy.
And it's hard because like, and I faced this challenge in middle school. Because you leave and you wrestle. In middle school, we had to wrestle, and for girls tournaments, we wrestle on Sundays, or we wrestle. It's either Friday nights or Sundays because the boys tournaments are Saturdays. And if you're wrestling on Sunday, you go to a tournament, you wrestle all day, and wrestling is a physically demanding sport, and it's so hard, and it's so hard on your body, and it's so hard physically and mentally that you're just done. And then you get home at 1 a.m. on Sunday night, and then you have to get up and go to school. And it's like, oh. And then like you have to figure out how to do your homework when you're competing and stuff all weekend. And like I get migraines. So like when I don't go to bed early enough, when I don't get enough sleep, like my body would be exhausted, and like my body would be physically exhausted, and then I don't get enough sleep, and then I get a migraine, and then it's hard to focus on school. So it's like trying to find that balance. yeah, it's definitely not for the weak to be a student athlete.
No.
And be an elite athlete while being a good student.
I agree. So looking back at everything, what achievement are you most proud of?
I would have to say I don't look at achievements as like, oh, it's so great that I did this. I always look at like the really hard workouts that I did, like leading up to that. So like I don't have a ton of achievements that like I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Like I'm proud of getting second at states this year because of all the work I put in this season to get there. Like it's one of those things where like I admire the journey more than the result. Like looking back, I've fallen in love with working hard and getting better at the sport and just doing all of that really, really hard stuff that nobody wants to do. Like that's crazy. Like I get called crazy all the time because like that stuff that's fun for me. I love getting up when I really don't want to and going to work out, and it makes me feel good. And it's like, yeah, I do that like all the time. I do stuff that nobody wants to do. It's fun. That's kind of what wrestling is.
Okay, so talking about your national experience, now you've wrestled in 12 different states. How has traveling and competing nationally shaped you as an athlete?
Yeah, so it's a really fun experience, and it's just crazy to see, like, to be able to compete against some of the best like girls in the country. And it just really broadens your perspective about like, I mean, just how crazy it is that there's all these amazing athletes, and like there's some more work I need to do. Like there's some athletes who, and this like I don't get this at all, but like how they're just satisfied with being the best athlete in their school, and they're like, okay, well, I'm better than my friend, so that's good enough for me. And it's like it's never good enough for me. Like I want to be the best girl in the area. I want to be the best girl in the state. I want to be the best girl in the country. I want to be the best girl in the world. Like it just like keeps building. And every time, like when I wrestle nationally, I see that next level. And like when I go to nationals, I see that next level. And when I'm training and like for national duels, like, I mean, I do pretty good at national duels, and like I win more matches than I lose, but I still see like one time I went and wrestled in Pennsylvania, and I wrestled this like national champ, and she like beat the crap out of me, and I was like, holy crap, she was really good. And my dad came over to me and she's like, yeah, she was a national champ. I didn't say anything before the match, but so yeah, it's just it's so cool, and it's so amazing to see girls who are like so insane at wrestling. Like I just love it so much. I love seeing like the levels of, like, you could look at the national champs and stuff, like the girls who are winning Fargo, and be like, holy crap, she is an amazing athlete and she's doing amazing things. Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like I love seeing women succeed in sports, and like seeing that. That's really cool.
So what was it like to be a 3-time Team Michigan member and competing at those national duels?
So yeah, I mean, I loved competing at a high level, and just the culture of Team Michigan is so amazing. We're all just like a big family, and like it's just girls who are working as hard as you are, and girls who are they're all there for the same reason. They're all there because they love wrestling and they want to get better at it, and they want to compete and have fun. And it's just like I have so many of my amazing friends and my role models who are like girls who are like 2 or 3 years older than me, and they just like they're kind of leading the way for all of the next girls coming up and the next girls. And like I want to be the girls who I looked up to in middle school, when like I first started traveling with Team Michigan and first started getting involved with those people, like all of the high school girls who I was like, oh my gosh, they're so good at wrestling, and like they were so nice to me, and they just took me in, and they taught me so much. And like I want to be that girl to the next girls coming up. So like being able to experience that, and just it's just so amazing, the community of it all, and learning, and just like having all those role models that they're all in college now and they're all doing amazing things, and I get to be like, yeah, like that girl, she's amazing, she's my friend. Like that's Maggie Burma, and she's an all-American, and she's wrestling in college at one of the best girl wrestling like colleges in the nation. And it's just like, Yeah, I hang out with her all the time. Like,
That's my girl.
yeah, she's a 4-time state champ.
Yeah, whatever.
She's pretty cool.
So you mentioned you had an injury for the past 2 years. What was that, and how did that affect your training and mindset?
So I have had really bad knees. It just kind of came out of nowhere with growth and stuff like that. And it was one of those things where I just kind of felt lost for so long because it kept me from doing what I loved, and it really impacted my life a lot. And just learning, because there's nothing, we tried everything, and stuff would help a little bit and it'd get a little bit better. But like, it was definitely a mental war. Like, my mental health was really bad for a while because it's just like, I can barely walk. Like, my knees hurt and there's no explanation. There's nothing I can do that's helped. It's not like a tear in a muscle or like something like that. Like, it's literally just unexplainable extreme pain out of nowhere. And just like, it was crazy. And like, I've been dealing with it for over 2 years at this point. So it's one of those things where I just kind of learned to live with it. And like, we think it's like a hormonal thing, so it's probably going to be with me for the rest of my life. So, but it's just learning to live with it and battle through the pain and everything. It took a lot of practice, and like, I know what my body can do without pain, and what hurts my body when it's too much and stuff is just something that I've just learned to kind of change the way that I go about things. Like, in the last 2 years, it's just taken a lot of trial and error, and like, I know what I'm not able to do, and I know what's not a good idea to do. Like, right before I'm about to compete, I'm like taking it easy at some of the stuff I do and practice, and it's just something that I kind of have to learn to live with. So it was really rough because it's like, I have this super bad knee pain that's unexplainable, and it's keeping me from wrestling and like track. Like, I was really good at pole vaulting at a really young age, and I was a really promising pole vaulter, and I barely improved from 7th grade to 8th grade to 9th grade, because 8th grade is when my knees started to hurt. Like, that's when it started getting bad, is 8th grade pole vaulting. And like, so like, I only went up like a half of a foot from 7th grade to 8th grade, and I got so much more athletic and so much better at pole vaulting in that time. It was like, my knees affected me that bad that it's just like, I stayed at the same height for 3 years straight, like in the span of 3 years, because the last 2 years I had my like horrible knee pain. So it's getting better with time, and I think it's just going to kind of keep getting better is what my hope is. And it's just one of those things where I just learned to compete and wrestle. Everyone has their battles. Everyone has the stuff like health issues. Like, I know you've talked about it before with yours. And like, everyone has health issues and battles, and everybody's got their own thing going on. And the great thing about wrestling is you just put it aside, and when you step on the mat, it's 0-0. Nobody's got an upper hand. Nobody's got an advantage. It doesn't matter. Like, you just put everything aside, and it's just you and your opponent, and it's just who wants it more, who wrestles better. And at points, at times, it was hard for me because I was just so down and so lost. And I'm like, well, like, it's not fair that my knees hurt and that person's doesn't. But that person probably has their own battles that they think is not fair, that I'm not fighting. So it's one of those things that it kind of broadened my perspective a little bit. And, you know, it's just one of those things. Everybody has their own story. Like, the girl who I wrestled in the state finals, she had like a hip surgery and like 2 hip surgeries, like 6 months ago, and she had to like relearn how to walk before she could wrestle again. And I'm like, I never knew that about you, but that's amazing that you're standing here and you're a state champ. Like, that's a beautiful story.
That's amazing.
And so it's just one of those things. Everybody's fighting their own battles. That's just life. And with wrestling, you get what you get, and then you just have to learn to work through that and stuff. So it's hard being a high level athlete and having crippling pain that hasn't gone away. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that's like, good morning, knee pain.
Good morning,
How are
sunshine.
you today? It's one of those things that every time you try and do something, it's going to be there. And it's just like one of those things that's like, whatever.
Just, I guess.
Yeah.
So you talked about like the mental health issues of it. How do you come over like those mental blocks almost?
Yeah, it's taken a lot of, I had to learn to find the positives in life and be able to like be able to focus on the bright side of things, because I like was really down for a long time. And it really, really affected me mentally. And like it would go in waves where like I would get better and then it'd get worse again. And like I just got to be like, whatever happens, I just need to stay steady and keep working hard. Everything will take care of itself, whether my body hurts or not.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where it's just like, no matter how much pain you're in, like obviously do what you need to take care of your body, but just keep working. Things will get better.
Yeah.
So
how do you mentally prepare for like a big match then?
A lot of times it's just me. When I'm wrestling somebody good who I know is going to give me a tough match, my biggest thing that I'm focusing on is just being like, trust in your training. You're the better wrestler. And a lot of the times there's some girls who, because I was the top girl this year throughout the season, so it's like learning to compete with the mindset of, like my dad would tell me, he's like, okay, this girl's gunning for you. Like these girls want to beat you. Like they have nothing to lose against you. And he's like, so you need to show them that they're not on your level yet. So when I'm preparing for those matches, it's one of those things where it's like, you're not on my level, and I'm going to show you that you have some work to do before you can beat me. Because that's what it is. It's like, I'm still the top girl here.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna need to go back to your wrestling room and work harder if you want to be as good as me. So it's one of those things that it's like you're humble off the mat, and you're kind and you're humble and you're encouraging, but on the mat you have to learn how to kind of put girls in your place, because they're trying to challenge you and they want to prove that they're the better wrestler and they can beat the best.
Yeah.
And when you are at the top and you want to stay at the top, which is what I'm going to have to do with all these upperclassmen who are getting, like, they get beat by the underclassmen, like the amount of seniors that I've beaten in the last 2 years. Like when I'm an upperclassman, I need to be that girl. Like I need to still work my butt off. It doesn't matter if I'm like the best right now. If I stop working right now, all of those girls will beat me. All the freshmen coming in, they'll start beating my butt. And I'm like, I got to keep working hard even if you're at the top. Because if not, people will pass you. And they will, like, girls are always, like, once you're at the top, there's this big target on your back and it just keeps growing and growing, because girls are chasing you because they're trying to beat you. That's their goal. And it's one of those things where it's like, you just have to have confidence. And that's the biggest thing in wrestling is confidence does so much for you. And even in any sport, like when you're running and you're confident, like you perform well, and you have to have confidence yourself to be able to go and dominate and win. So it's one of those things that just the mental preparation is huge for those big matches.
So what does a typical training week for you look like then?
During high school season, it's just the normal high school practices. We do like 3 to 5:30 or 3 to 6. And then would do weightlifting after some days, or we could do time in the wrestling room. And then we'd compete on the weekends, and we also had dual meets on Wednesday nights. So we're competing 2 times a week, weighing in 2 times a week, and that's really hard to keep up on. It's really exhausting to maintaining your weight, maintaining your grades, training, trying to stay healthy, getting stronger, and performing well on the mat is just, it's really hard to do, and it's really exhausting when you're competing 2 times a week, because it's a lot on your body. And then also, like, you compete and then you get down to weight and you weigh in 2 days after. Because like we'd have to weigh in on Friday nights and it's like, Friday nights. So we would weigh in on Tuesdays and like Fridays. And for the girls, sometimes it'd be Tuesday, Thursday. So it's one of those things that it just never stops. And then for freestyle, it's a little bit different because right now I'm not competing for at least a couple of weeks right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm just eating healthy and I'm working out at least like once a day, maybe while I'm recovering, 4 days a week while I'm recovering because I strained like a joint in my shoulder during season. So I've been doing like band assisted pull-ups and trying to do push-ups again, just trying to strengthen it and stuff back to where it was, which is going to take a long time, but that's what you got to do. And so right now, just eating healthy, eating clean still, getting all my protein in. Right now, big emphasis on lifting, and it's very, very important for athletes to lift. And that's always something like I love lifting. And like I don't like hitting legs at all. I love upper body and like I'll do all the pull up and push ups and presses in the world and stuff. But because of my knees and stuff, because it hurts. Yeah. And like I don't like legs and I don't like hitting legs. And when I get forced to, it's not very fun. Yeah. So it's a lot. Definitely like strengthening my knees is really hard for me because it hurts so bad. And then like my knees hurt for the next 2 days. And it's like I know it's helping, but it hurts so bad right now. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just right now, just a big emphasis on strength training and just focusing on the things that I need to improve for freestyle because it's a style transition. So a lot of the rules change, a lot of the scoring changes. And it's a different like pace, like freestyle's more fast pace of wrestling. Right. So just right now I'm just focusing on transitioning to that. So yeah. It's a switch. So I'm getting ready. I'm probably going to do some small local freestyle tournaments, which will be good. Because usually I get good competition because not as many girls compete in freestyle. But most of the girls who do are my Team Michigan teammates. So we all get to wrestle each other. So it's all really good matches. So I'm excited to get back into the groove and like with us having no school and stuff. Yeah. It's been a little weird, but like, hey, I can work out whenever I want right now because we've had like a couple weeks of just no school and stuff. So that's really nice. And then over spring break, I can get all the workouts in I want. Yeah. Like I got to work out yesterday with the Kowalskis and stuff. They all came over and I worked out with Ethan and Matthew. And then like the day before that I lifted, and the day before that I was working out with my uncle because he's actually going to wrestle the U.S. Open in Vegas for the adults division because my uncle Zane was an amazing wrestler and like he placed at states I think twice in high school. So like he was a really good wrestler in high school and like he's a good wrestler. So he's training right now to do some like to go to Vegas, wrestle the U.S. Open. He's going to wrestle like a local tournament or two. That'll be fun to watch my Uncle Zane wrestle this year too. Right now, I just have a little like a free schedule. I get to build my own weightlifting program. I'm going to work with like Coach Phillips and I work with like Alex Bates and stuff like that for strength training. And it's fun. It's just freestyle. Like, yes, I have some high goals this year for freestyle, but it's also just going to be having fun and getting better at wrestling in the off season and just continuing to grow as an athlete. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're also a swimmer. So how does swimming help your wrestling or vice versa?
Yeah. So swim's just kind of my hobby sport. I just do it because it's fun and I'm good at it and I like it. But it also helps me in wrestling so much because sometimes in the off season, like with cross country, when I did cross country in middle school, it actually hurt my wrestling because I lost a lot of like upper body muscle and stuff like that. And it caused like muscle imbalances for when I was working out because I was trying to lift like 3 times a week when I did cross country and I'm still losing muscle because cross country just eats everything. It like devours all of your muscle. So like with swimming, it helps because swimming is one of those things where it requires every single muscle in your body, just like wrestling does. And it helps strengthen all of those little muscles so much. It's just so good for me to do in the off season just is one of those things where, and it also gives me a break from wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, even people who are super uber obsessed with their sport, like even Olympians and like national champs talk about everyone needs a break from their sport every once in a while. Because like I love wrestling and I love doing it every single day, but sometimes I need a little break. So swim in the fall is just one of those things that I do, and it keeps me fit and in shape, and I get strong and stuff, and I still wrestle and I'm still competing, but it's just one of those things where it's like I get a little break where I just kind of step back and take a break from wrestling. So it's really good for me, and it really helps me physically with injuries, because when swimming it strengthens all those little muscles so that they don't get like teared or pulled and they don't start bothering you a lot. So it's been really nice, and I've seen a lot of benefit from swimming in the fall. So awesome. It's nice. Yeah.
So what events do you do in swimming then?
So I am a sprinter. I don't like to be in the water for very long. So I'm just one of those people who just like pushes through like I do the 50 freestyle, which is the shortest event. It's basically like doing a 100-meter dash and running. And then the like 100 freestyle is basically the 200-meter of running. So, and then I just do the relays, and I'm good at relays because I would always anchor for the relays. And I was a fast sprinter, and like I just grit everything out, whether I was like, I don't have the best swimming technique. I mean, I was a really good swimmer when I was little, but I just like power through everything, and just like I got strong arms, so I just freaking like so I mean, that's how I swim. I just try not to drown, and I just swim as fast as I can, and I just try and do good. So I think my swim coach, she's amazing. Coach Johnson, she is so understanding of my wrestling and stuff. And she lets me take all the time off I need. Like a couple days before I was going to a big tournament, she let me take like 2 or 3 practices off just so I could focus on getting ready for my wrestling. I think I was getting ready for grappler, and I think that was in September or October. So it was like in the middle of swim season. And she's just like, yeah, take Thursday and Friday off, because I was leaving on like Friday for wrestling. So she's just like so understanding. And she's like, I understand that wrestling's your priority and that you're really good at it. And she's like, I'm just happy I have you on my team and I have you as an athlete, and I'm just going to support you in your wrestling stuff. So she's like amazing.
That's awesome to have coaches like that. It's so like, I believe if like you have a bad coach, it kind of ruins your experience for some things. Like